Look at this beautiful beast.
There are many North American bird species that spend the majority of the year in the most northern parts of the continent. These species can seem mysterious due to their absence during the warmer seasons. However, with the cold and snow of winter comes opportunities to see some of these species as they make their way south in search of food. Today, we are exploring the northern towns of Wisconsin in hopes of finding a particularly beautiful bird species.
Hey everyone, this is Ryan from Badgerland Birding. Derek and I are here in northern Wisconsin with our friends Chris and Colette, and we're looking for a very interesting species, the Bohemian Waxwing. Bohemian Waxwings get their name from the way that they move around from place to place and don't really have one set location that they reside in, which makes them difficult to find. But what we do have around is a lot of fruit trees, which is what they're going to be feeding on. So we're going to be cruising these roads hoping to find some of these Bohemian Waxwings.
We started out in the town of Tomahawk, an area where Bohemian Waxwings had been seen earlier in the year. Since Chris and Colette had missed on this species numerous times before, and had never actually gotten a look at one, we felt hyped up to put in the time to try and find some of these fruit-eating birds.
Trying to figure out where the best place to find the Bohemians are right now. We're looking at reports from earlier this year, and they're pretty tough to nail down because they'll just go where the fruit trees are, and they'll have no order to how they do it. They'll just find food, swoop down, eat a bunch, take off, move on to the next thing. So we're gonna have to peruse a lot of these areas. People have seen them before and check every fruit tree.
We drove down the roads keeping an eye out for any trees that had berries or crab apples. We turned up an American tree sparrow and thought we had a tree with some larger birds in it, but it turned out to just be funny-looking clusters of fruit.
False alarm this time though.
Hey, that's what you gotta do. If you're not having false alarms, you're not trying.
It was exciting. Got my heart rate up a little bit.
Yeah, you woke up a little bit?
Woke up a little.
Having no luck in the first city on our list, we moved on.
Nothing in the city of Tomahawk, which was our first stop. So now we're gonna head farther north to a very interesting city called Rhinelander. And Rhinelander actually comes with its very own monster.
The city of Rhinelander is like most other towns in northern Wisconsin, but with one interesting thing that sets it apart.
So this is a Hodag. It's a mostly fictitious creature that was created by somebody that wanted to increase the tourism of Rhinelander. So now this has been interwoven into everything about the city, and you'll see Hodag themed things everywhere. So it's really become actually a thing. What was started as a fictitious beast is now firmly embedded in the heart of the city.
Hodag imagery has seeped into every aspect of the city, and even Rhinelander High School sports teams are called the Hodags. For us, the city would prove to be a fantastic place to find some incredible birds. We scanned the snow-covered streets, spotting pigeons, American goldfinches, and dark-eyed juncos. At a park near some bird feeders, we found one of the brightest species of the northern forest.
Just got some evening grosbeaks here in Rhinelander at this park. It's actually in somebody's backyard. They have some seed out. So we didn't find anything for a long time, and that's a really awesome thing to lift our spirits. Not the Bohemian Waxwings, but anytime you see evening grosbeaks, it's a great day. So cool with that really large bill and just kind of that non-melodic, just kind of chipping call.
Evening grosbeaks are very colorful finches, with males having yellow on their back and underside, as well as a yellow crown. This species has black on their wings and tail, as well as white on their wings visible when perched and in flight. Females are a grayish color with black wings, and some yellow on the back of the neck. Evening grosbeaks live in the boreal forests of southern Canada year-round, as well as some parts of the northwestern and northeastern U.S. In winter, they move south into more of the states in the continental U.S., but just how far they move depends on the year. Evening grosbeaks feed on a variety of different foods, ranging from insects such as spruce budworm larvae, to fruit, to seeds. One interesting thing about evening grosbeaks is that they don't necessarily have a song, but rather chirps and calls that they use to communicate.
Just got evening grosbeak. That's a year bird in Wisconsin and a really cool bird. There's one male with a bunch of females. The male is super bright against the snowy backdrop. And I've got my evening grosbeak shirt on today, which clearly led to this experience.
From the same park, we heard something in the distance and noticed a large flock of birds perching up in a tree.
We got waxwings way up in this tree here. I heard the call, all of the different calls that we're making, and I see them way up there.
Yes. Huge flock. It just like showed up out of nowhere.
Is this your dream realized?
3 years in the making.
See, we just had to stop at the park.
That is correct.
Now you're gonna be like, I want the next thing.
On to the next dream.
Yeah.
We moved closer to the waxwings and watched the large flock as it went from tree to tree. Eventually, we ended up near many berry bushes, hoping the birds were hungry enough to drop down and eat.
There's even more Bohemian Waxwings that showed up than we originally thought, and there's a flock of like 80 now. And I'm hoping that they're going to come down to this one fruit tree that they kind of keep coming to so that we can actually get some good looks at them.
After waiting and watching for a while, and with small raindrops falling from the sky, our wishes were granted, and we got some excellent looks at this fascinating species.
This is phenomenal. This is so cool. There's all these Bohemians and then one cedar waxwing too, which is cool for comparison purposes. But to like have this type of experience is just awesome.
Bohemian Waxwings are quite beautiful looking birds. They have a smoky gray color on their wings and underside, with warm peach coloring on their face and a black mask. Bohemian Waxwings have the same rusty peach color on their undertail, as well as yellow tips on their wings and tail. True to their name, Bohemian Waxwings move around constantly and rarely stay in one place long. They will, however, stick around areas with large concentrations of fruit until they have picked the branches clean. During the winter months, fruit is the primary item on the menu, and due to the higher sugar content in the dried berries and other fruits, Bohemian Waxwings drink copious amounts of water or even eat snow to help with digestion. During the breeding season, the diet of these nomadic birds changes from primarily fruit to primarily insects. Bohemian Waxwings breed in western Canada and Alaska, but move south in search of food in winter. Look for this species traveling and feeding in large groups, sometimes numbering in the hundreds. They have also been known to intermingle with cedar waxwings as well, so it can pay to check every individual in a flock to see if the opposite species is present. Much like evening grosbeaks, Bohemian Waxwings don't have a song, but rather a series of high-pitched chirps that can be heard from a ways away. Fortunate for us, because otherwise, we may never have found this group in the first place.
So something interesting we've noticed about the Bohemian Waxwing behavior is that the flocks seem to come together. Here's actually, is this more birds coming in right here?
Yeah.
We got, oh gosh, even more coming in. So the flocks seem to mix together and they'll hang out in these bigger trees and then they'll come down, grab some fruit real quick, and then they'll go back up. So it seems like they're doing like a grab and go where they'll just come, feast really quickly, and then take it back into the upper branches.
Dine and dash.
Dine and dash, grab and go, and then they hang out there, those flocks mix, and then they kind of do it all again.
What do you think, Chris?
Oh, this is the most Bohemian Waxwings I've ever seen.
Aren't these the only ones you've ever seen?
I've ever seen.
This is just wild Bohemian Waxwing experience.
It's like the best Bohemian Waxwing experience you could have asked for.
It is the best Bohemian Waxwing experience you could ask for.
While watching the waxwings, we got to see the massive flock feed on berries, move from tree to tree, and even eat the snow off the branches. We even ended up getting a little too close to the action for our liking.
What happened to you?
While admiring the beautiful waxwing, he pooped on my face.
That's a nice souvenir.
Does it seem less beautiful now?
No, it's like a lifer. I'm not going to wash my face.
We left Rhinelander extremely satisfied with our time there. Not only did we get to see some evening grosbeaks, But we also had pretty much the best experience possible with our target bird, the Bohemian Waxwing. There is something special about the species that come down from the north in winter, and something even more fascinating about one that is as hard to pin down as the Bohemian Waxwing. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time on Badgerland Birding.